Story 1 of 4. Decomposing 25-ton sperm whale carcass washes ashore in Sydney, attracts sharks, and removal sparks controversy. Decomposing 25-ton sperm whale carcass washes ashore in Sydney, attracts sharks, and removal sparks controversy. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A 25-ton decomposing sperm whale carcass, estimated 8.5 to 9 meters long, washed ashore on rocks at Era Beach, Sydney's Royal National Park, on Saturday, April 25, 2026. Beaches in the Royal National Park, including Garry, Era, Guatemala, Burning Palms, and North-South Era, were closed due to elevated shark risk, with sightings of great white, bull, and tiger sharks. The whale carcass was towed 20 to 30 kilometers from Era Beach to Bellambi Boat Ramp, Wollongong, on Friday, April 29, 2026, using a 60-ton tugboat, and then lifted by machinery for disposal at White's Gully landfill. At least 16 sharks were sighted in the area over the weekend following the towing operation, prompting beach evacuations and warnings to stay out of the water for 48 to 72 hours. The National Parks and Wildlife Service, NPWS, consulted with the Illawarra Land Council and Darawal people to ensure culturally appropriate handling of the whale carcass. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the whale was discovered on Saturday, April 25, 2026, while the SMH and ABC initially report it as Saturday, April 26, 2026, corrected in later ABC articles. NPWS claims Wollongong City Council was responsible for public safety warnings, but the council states NPWS was the lead agency directing communications. The Guardian reports the whale was 25 tons and 8 to 9 meters long, while ABC initially states 25 tons but later clarifies 8.5 to 9 meters, consistent with Guardian. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and Sydney Morning Herald. Story 2 of 4. One Nation wins Farage by-election, marking historic shift in Australian politics. One Nation wins Farage by-election, marking historic shift in Australian politics. Here's what every outlet agrees on. One Nation candidate David Farley won the Farage by-election on May 9, 2026, becoming the party's first ever lower house MP. Farley secured 41.8% of the primary vote, leading Michelle Milthorpe, 25.8%, and the coalition candidates, both tilde 10%. The seat of Farage has been held by the coalition, Liberal or National, since its creation in 1949, ending that streak with Farley's win. Liberal and National candidates both preferenced One Nation ahead of independent Michelle Milthorpe, boosting Farley's chances. Former Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce, now a One Nation MP, declared the result a roar from voters and warned Labour about Western Sydney. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC reported Farley's primary vote as 41.8%, but The Age initially stated it was around 41% without a precise figure. The Guardian and SMH described Farley's immigration stance as loose and needs to match housing health demand, while One Nation's Barnaby Joyce insisted Farley meant cutting migration to 130,000 annually. The Age and Guardian noted Farley's past flirtation with Labour, but News Kamau emphasised his 2023 donation to Labour's election fund, which was not mentioned in other sources. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 3 of 4. Frontier Airlines plane strikes pedestrian on Denver runway during takeoff, causing engine fire and evacuation. Frontier Airlines plane strikes pedestrian on Denver runway during takeoff, causing engine fire and evacuation. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Frontier Airlines Flight 4345 struck a pedestrian on runway 17L at Denver International Airport during takeoff on the 9th of May, 2026 at approximately 11:19 p.m. local time. The Airbus A321 was carrying 224 passengers and 7 crew members bound for Los Angeles. The pilot reported, "We hit somebody and we have an engine fire to air traffic control," with audio from ATC.com. The pedestrian jumped a perimeter fence and was hit by the plane 2 minutes later while crossing the runway. The pedestrian is deceased and not believed to be an airport employee, with no identification confirmed. But not all outlets told the same story. News Kamau states the plane carried 224 passengers and 7 crew, total 231, while The Guardian's pilot quote mentions 231 souls but does not clarify if this includes crew or passengers separately. News Kamau explicitly states the pedestrian was not believed to be an employee of the airport, while The Guardian does not mention this detail. This story was covered by The Guardian and news.com.au. Story 4 of 4. Reform UK's historic gains in UK local elections and Farage's rise as PM contender. Reform UK's historic gains in UK local elections and Farage's rise as PM contender. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Reform UK won control of Essex County Council, taking 53 seats and ending 25 years of Conservative majority control since 2001. Reform UK won control of Havering Borough Council in London, marking its first London local authority victory. Reform UK won control of Sunderland City Council, ending Labour's 53-year continuous control since 1973. Reform UK won 41 seats in Suffolk County Council, primarily at the expense of the Conservatives. Reform UK finished second in the Welsh Senedd elections with 34 seats, behind Plaid Cymru, which won 37 seats. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states Reform UK's vote share in English council seats was about 35%, while ABC does not provide a specific percentage but implies a strong performance without quantifying the drop from 2025. The Guardian mentions Reform UK may have peaked and could face further slips in support, while ABC frames the results as a historic breakthrough with Farage on course to become PM. The Guardian notes Reform UK won 53 seats in Essex with a smaller majority than expected, while ABC does not specify seat counts but emphasises the scale of Reform's gains across multiple councils. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.